Hi everyone.
Hi.
Today we are making kind of spiced baked oven baked nuts.
Yes, so we're using walnuts and pecans and we're going to make a little spice mix to coat them in and then bake them in the oven. So these are lovely to have, you know, to put out if you have people come around for a drink or something like that, just to nibble on. You could pop them on your grazing platters at Christmas.
They're also a good one that you could give as a gift. Like you could put them in like a little cellophane bag, tie them with a nice little Christmas
Look
bow.
at you go, Mum.
I wouldn't do any of that, but you could if you wanted
In
to.
theory. In a jar, that would be nice.
Yes.
Anyway, let's get started. So we first of all have 1 tablespoon of sugar-free maple syrup and some 20 grams of butter, and we've just melted that and mixed it together. And then we're going to pop all of our spices in and then make the little spice mix and then pop, you know, coat the nuts in it. So we're going to add half a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of cinnamon. So it's kind of like a sweet and savory, like it's not just sweet, like a, you know, like a caramelized nut or something.
Kind of thing, yeah.
But it's kind of got a sweet and spicy flavor.
So when you're looking for maple syrup, there are a couple of options at the supermarket. We didn't have any of the unflavored ones, but they've got, the Queens have a few different versions: blueberry maple, apple cinnamon, and a regular one. Lakanto also have a maple flavored syrup, and there's a Steve's. I think it's Steve's is another one, and it comes in a jar that looks like regular maple syrup. Yes. So any of those will work perfectly for this recipe.
So I've just popped in here cinnamon and then smoked paprika, which will give it a nice smoky savory flavor, and then some cumin, garlic powder, and then just a dash of, or like a pinch of cayenne pepper. You can leave that out if you're worried about heat.
Not too much.
It's nice to give it a little bit of a kick. So now we're just going to mix together. So we've got our melted butter, sugar-free maple syrup, and our spices. And then we're going to pop in our pecans and walnuts and coat them with this mixture. Now,
and you could use any nuts, right?
I was just going to say, yeah. These are just like
our favourites. We love pecans. We could just do all pecans and be happy. But you could do almonds.
Yeah, whatever floats your boat. But we just want to make sure that we get some of the mixture on all of the nuts. Okay, so I feel like those are pretty well coated now, so there's no kind of dry nuts in there. And now we're just going to spread them out on our lined baking sheet.
And I guess if you were serving a bigger group and you wanted more, you could easily double this recipe, no problem.
For sure, you might just want to do it on 2 trays, because you want to make sure they're spread out so that they all toast well. And you really want to keep an eye on them in the oven, because you don't want them to burn, but we do want them to kind of brown, I guess. Okay, so I've got them all spread out. So I'm going to pop them in the oven.
We've got the oven at 160, and then we're going to go in for about 15 to 18 minutes depending on your oven. Like Erica said, just watch them.
And you might need to turn them around halfway depending on your oven too, but they smell good already.
They do smell good.
So our nuts are out of the oven, and you want to let them cool down completely and then store them in an airtight container.
You want to watch them because they can catch quite quickly.
Yeah, they can.
With the maple syrup.
But they haven't, they get a nice little crunch to them. Dan likes them.
They are delicious. This is one of those recipes you could serve to non-keto people. They would have no idea.
Yeah, and it's just a nice way of spicing up some nuts. Sometimes the ones you get,
Literally.
sometimes the ones you get from the supermarket though, they've got all these ingredients in that you don't want to be eating, and it's not that difficult to make it yourself at home. And you could make a couple of batches, you know, this a week or 2 before Christmas, pop them in jars in your cupboard, and then anytime someone pops around,
you're ready to go. These would be good with like drinks if you were having some beers or a glass of wine
from our festive bundle.
which is where you can find this recipe, by the way. So yeah, I think if you were having drinks with people, serving this would be perfect.
Yeah, it's just like a nice little sweet savoury thing to nibble on.
Hopefully you've enjoyed this recipe, guys. If you have, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and thank you so much for watching.
Bye.
Bye.